Welcome to the Driven Stone Podcast, the podcast where two friends raise a glass and have a conversation. I'm Nick.
I'm Kyle.
Kyle.
Hey, buddy.
How's it going?
It's going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
How is it going for you? Is the real
I feel
question.
like we always start that way. Like, how's it going? Fine. And you?
Yeah.
Also fine.
Yeah.
You want to change that up?
Sure.
Okay. After 180 episodes, I don't know if we've got this down yet.
No.
Or are we at 180? We're damn close if we're not at 180.
I don't know why I would know.
I just show up and make magic happen.
I stopped counting. I stopped, paying attention to the episode number when we dropped that off the,
Oh.
the
I mean,
description.
We do add it to the bottom of every episode. It's there.
Okay.
Yeah. If you like scroll down to the description of the episode.
Sure. It's down there.
It's down there. Which I know a lot of people don't click on that kind of stuff, but that's where you find the link to Patreon.
No kidding.
Yeah, it's right
That's
there.
always useful information.
It is super useful information. Kyle.
Hey.
How was your week this week?
I've had a really busy week.
Yeah? Why is that?
I worked a lot.
That's good.
I
guess.
Yeah, it's always good.
I mean, making that money.
yeah, you got to do the thing.
Yeah, you got to.
Well, yeah, no.
Worked
a lot.
families like to eat.
Sure,
I mean,
do.
it's like the worst, but families like
yeah.
to eat.
Yeah, they enjoy it. Air conditioning's nice.
Listen,
Electricity's a fun thing.
It is a very fun thing.
Yeah, you got to pay for those things.
Unfortunately, you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't live in that utopian society yet. We're close, though. We're
Are
real
we?
close. I don't know,
Are we?
That might apply more to the next episode.
Well, maybe. So I've rediscovered something from my childhood.
No.
I know.
Push-up pops.
Wow. I haven't thought of push-up pops in forever. you're talking about like the ones in the cardboard sleeve?
Yeah.
With yeah.
Just the orange sherbet.
Yeah.
Sherbet?
Is it sherbet or sherbet?
I've always said sherbet. I'm pretty sure there's an R there, but I don't know if you pronounce it.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Yeah.
Anyway, maybe that's two different things.
Maybe.
I guess my grandmother always called it sherbet.
Okay.
But she was from like Massachusetts.
Sure.
Bit.
Massachusetts bits.
Exactly. The thing that I rediscovered from my childhood are these little round oats called Cheerios.
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, you walk in the cereal aisle of the store.
Right.
And Cheerios were on sale. And I was like, man, I haven't had Cheerios in forever.
Right.
So they were buy one, get one. So I bought like the family size because like, if you're going to do it, you got to do it.
Of just like plain?
Well, first I started with Honey Nut Cheerios.
Right.
And I was like, damn, what have I been missing these last, 4 or 5 years since I've been a child?
Sure.
And they are delightful.
Honey Nut?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like amazing.
Well, that's interesting because from I think it was like the second episode of Death and Stone, like that was a moniker.
Right.
For, I think, Redemption.
Yeah.
The weeded.
Like the weeded is a Honey Nut Cheerios.
There's a Honey Nut Cheerio now.
Yeah.
Because I've got kids.
Yeah.
So I've been in the Cheerio game for 14 years now.
The reason why, like, I'm not saying like I haven't had Honey Nut Cheerios like since I was a kid, but I haven't like been into them.
Right.
And I haven't like, nope. Like that is my go-to breakfast of choice.
Right.
So then they were on sale again the next week, and I was like, damn, I'm gonna stock up.
Trying to get rid of these things.
Exactly. I ordered these Cheerios first of all. So I bought 2 boxes of Honey Nut, and I was like, all right, you got me, General Mills. You got me.
You got my money.
Exactly. So I bought 2 boxes of regular Cheerios.
Okay.
And I was like, damn, these are good too.
Right.
And they're just, plain Cheerios. There's no Honey Nut about it. And I got like fancy Oreos now. Or Oreos. They got fancy
Double
Cheerios
stuffed
that look like
Cheerios.
Oreos. They've got Cheerios that are like chocolate frosted and like weird strawberry Cheerios.
Yep.
And I was like, nope, just give me the regular Cheerios. And they're delicious too.
Yep.
And then I did a pro move. I was like, maybe I don't want like the full-fledged sweet Honey Nut Cheerio.
Right.
So I mixed them.
Oh.
And it was delightful.
I bet it is.
Yeah. You get the
little half and half.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Half and half, just a little bit of a milk.
Right.
Like I don't do like the whole like a milk. I just do it.
Sure.
Yeah. Are you a person that like puts water in their milk?
Ew. No.
Yeah.
Like skim milk?
Not water in their milk. Hold on. I said that wrong. Water in their cereal instead of milk.
Oh. No.
Do you know anybody that does that?
I knew a guy in high school that would put sweet tea in his cereal.
That is the most Alabama thing I've ever heard.
My dude, what are you doing?
That's like one step above eating cookie dough for breakfast.
Yeah, sure. I don't know. It might just be a side step. I don't think it goes above or below. It's just to the side.
That's the most southern shit I've ever heard.
Sweet tea in my Cheerios.
Wow.
Yeah, that was a thing. We always looked at him like, dude, they've got milk. Why are you choosing that as your option? He's like, it just needs liquid on it. Like, cool.
I mean, he's not wrong. Because
no, I mean, if that's your preference. Do the thing.
Honestly, I'd rather eat my Cheerios dry at that point. Like I'm not going to put water in my Cheerios.
Definitely could not do water.
No. I mean, I could do like almond milk or oat milk or something like that. Like if I had to.
Sure.
I'm not opposed to it, but like sweet tea? Nah, I don't think so.
That's different.
Well, speaking of sweet tea, actually, no, it has nothing to do with sweet tea. What are we drinking this week?
I've got a bottle here of some rye whiskey.
Can we put that in our Cheerios?
Yeah, we could definitely try it.
Do you got any Cheerios?
Probably. Probably. I think I've had just about every variety of Cheerio, if I'm honest.
I believe that.
Because I was a fan there for quite a while.
Oh.
I got a bottle here.
Yep.
Good old Uncle Nearest Rye.
Uncle Ernest?
Uncle Nearest.
Oh, okay.
Uncle Nearest Rye. Uncut, unfiltered, straight whiskey. This is a kicker. This is a high proof.
What is it?
This is 118.4.
Whoa.
Yeah, 59.2.
Nice.
The old
Is
ABV.
this, can we find this anywhere? Or is this like a distillery exclusive?
This specific bottle is distillery exclusive. They have started releasing a rye that I think you can purchase in stores.
Interesting.
But it's only 100 proof.
Oh.
They proofed that one down.
Down just a bit.
To get the full experience, you got to go to the distillery.
Right.
Which I did.
And?
In Shelbyville, Tennessee.
Oh, how was it? I think we talked about it before.
It's an absolutely gorgeous facility, and like it's just going to get bigger.
Oh,
like it's blowing up over there.
Did you send our regards to Fawn?
Absolutely did.
Yeah.
Went and knocked on the door, see if she was there. She wasn't, but left her a sticker.
Left her a sticker in
right on her
and
door.
A post-it note from Drappenstone.
Drappenstone was here.
Yeah,
you weren't.
Sad face.
But yeah, now pick this bottle up and the old Uncle Nearest Masters edition. Masters blend.
Holy
also.
crap! I just saw that one on the thing.
Yeah, picked up both those bottles.
Wow, that's fancy.
But no, it was a. I went there specifically because I happened to be in the area the day that bottle was released.
Whoa!
And so I made arrangements. I actually had to go to a wedding that specific day.
At the distillery?
No, at home.
Oh, okay.
And so the next day, I was like, I'm gonna go see if they've still got some left. And so went up there the next day, and
there's
sure
one
enough,
bottle.
Nah, they still had a good bit.
Oh, okay.
But I got one. Either way.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you got any bottle words?
You ready?
Wait. Okay, now I am.
All right. This is actually kind of interesting.
Okay.
All right. Uncut and unfiltered. This is straight rye whiskey done right. The funny thing. The funny thing about Tennessee is for all our stunning farms and incredible farmers, we can't grow rye worth a damn.
Does it really say that?
Yeah.
Nice.
A grain so easily grown in other states gets choked up in our soil.
Wow.
So we went out to find the best straight rye and brought it back home to rest in used Uncle Nearest barrels.
That's cool.
Where did we finally find it? New York, baby.
Fifth Avenue. It's just hanging out.
Born in the North, then raised for at least 4 years in the big city before moving to God's country for some well-deserved rest. Those are some bottle words.
Those are some bottle words. That's pretty good.
Yeah, for sure.
Of course, poking a little bit of fun of it. I like it.
Yeah,
all
for
right.
sure. Want to get into it?
I mean, if you want to.
Hard pass.
This is a Canadian rye.
Yep.
That's then been taken to New York.
Yep. Sounds like it was aged in New York.
Okay.
Or maybe.
I said the big city, Buffalo. Maybe Fifth Avenue's not far off.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, if it was distilled in New York?
Interesting.
They just bought the rye from Canada.
Okay.
Distilled in New York.
And then they took it,
but then aged
from...
it. Well, it's aged for 4 years there.
Oh, okay. And then
in the big city.
And then
before
taken
moving
to
God's country.
Interesting.
Yeah, before moving to Tennessee.
But we don't know how long it was aged in Tennessee.
Doesn't say that.
So this could be a 15-year-old rye.
Could be.
I doubt it because they probably would have told us that.
Might be useful.
Interesting, though. Okay. So it's an NAS, so a no age statement technically, but we do know it's at least 4 years old.
Yeah.
We just don't know how long it was aged in Tennessee.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Might have said that at the distillery. And
you
just pick up.
Can crack into it? Beautiful.
Got it.
Nice.
Indeed. So when I went to the distillery, like I said, I went specifically to buy this bottle because I knew they were releasing it that weekend.
Yep.
So did the tour, got to try, I forget the years. I could look them up, but I'm not gonna. There's like the regular Uncle Nearest.
Yep.
And I think that one's right around like 86, I think, proof.
Yeah.
Then they've got a next level up that goes to 100. That's the one that we featured on like episode 2 or 3.
Yeah.
And then
That was like 4 years ago.
yeah, that's been a minute.
Wow.
Then you got to try this one, and then you got to try the Master's Blend.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was a fun experience for sure. Anyway, in the glass, we've got whiskey.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say on the lighter end though.
Yeah, I was going to say that too. Like slightly watered down golden honey.
Yeah, dark straw, kind of wet hay
Yeah. Oh,
on the nose.
Whoa. Sorry, I got a little sniff in beforehand. Wow.
Yeah, different.
That is really different.
Yeah,
It reminds me of like something that's like sherry cask almost.
sure. I could see that.
I mean, maybe it's just
definitely
'cause like
some
that-
sort of like finish on it.
Yeah, that like there's a little bit of a like a fake saccharine sweet to it. Like a what's that like sweetener they put in everything now? Monk fruit or something like that.
I got nothing there.
I mean, like there's just a little bit of like a
Monks and their fruits.
like I don't know. There's like a fruity.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Okay.
like it's the fruits though that I'm thinking of are like more like tart, like strawberries or like some sort of a tart.
See,
fruit.
I was looking at like peachy.
I mean, I could see that like a young peach,
Yeah.
not like a fully ripe.
Look, you ever been into a grocery store and like you're walking around the produce section and like you just get a whiff of peach and you're like, I'm peaches in here somewhere. Like that's kind of what it reminds me
Papa
of.
Peach.
That was my nickname in college.
I knew it
Papa
was,
Peach.
man.
Yeah.
Papa Peach.
It was like 3 weeks, spring, freshman year.
Say freshman year?
Yeah.
Or freshman year?
What?
Freshman
No,
year?
I heard you.
I said what?
Freshman year.
Freshman year. Freshman year. Freshman year or freshman year? Uh-huh. Same thing.
Listen, it's not often we get to make fun of my accent. Normally it's yours.
I think it's my accent though, like just the way I'm
Like-
hearing it. It's my ear accent,
I just hear things in Alabama.
my listening accent.
Everything comes out just slightly slower and with a bit of a drawl.
Yeah.
What month is it? July.
July.
Yeah, there's like a really like now that I'm nosing a little bit more, I'm not leaning that saccharine sweet anymore. It's like a really bright fruit note.
Yeah. But I could see like the gummy almost nature to it.
Oh,
You know, or like candy-esque.
yeah. Like a candy you get like a Cracker Barrel or something.
Yeah. Or like a Lifesaver.
You know, it kind of smells like a
tropical Lifesaver.
bulk candy store. Like you ever
Sure.
walked into like a candy store and they got all the
Yeah, you
using
just walk in and
scoops.
it's just like all of that.
Yeah,
All that going on.
and I don't hate it.
Some jelly. Strawberry jelly.
It's a fun nose.
Yeah. And it is just it's super different. Now that I'm thinking about it,
Yeah.
it's kind of reminding me. I'm wondering if that new riff, that malted rye,
yeah.
kind of like I feel like it's somewhere in that neighborhood.
Okay, so that's my question. Are you getting like rye?
No,
No, me neither.
no, but it's making me wonder if it's like if it is something like a malted rye or just some sort of a different thing that's not like that traditional pine rye
Right.
that you normally get.
Yeah, because I get like a
Something different.
slight spice on the back end, but I don't get pine. I don't get mint. I don't get that like slight, like astringent kind of alcohol note that I sometimes get. Like not alcohol as in like ethanol. Alcohol is in like isopropyl alcohol. Like sometimes I get that with some rye too.
Right, that numb tongue.
All right.
Yeah, the more I'm nosing, I'm just like it's like breakfasty jams, like a strawberry jam or jelly.
Yeah.
That you throw on some toast.
But again, I go back to like sometimes we've gotten ryes that it's like that on rye bread, or
Right.
like
But yeah.
the seeded rye or like a pumpernickel or something like that.
Yeah,
I just-
there's none of that nature on it.
No.
No, it's just like on a biscuit. Strawberry jelly on a biscuit. Buttered biscuit. All right.
No sniffing time for sipping.
Okay.
All right. Twist my leg. Twist my leg. Twist my arm. But there's the rye. The rye is definitely on the palate.
Yeah, towards the back end.
Oh yeah. Ooh.
Yeah, it rides along with that proof.
Ooh. Hold up.
Cinching up all the bits.
I had to take a moment.
Then it releases.
Yeah. Wow. What was the proof again?
118.4.
That made my voice go up. Do you hear me? What?
What?
118.4.
Yeah.
Oh, you know it.
Yeah. It grabs you by the God's country.
There's still that jammy note.
Totally.
It's definitely still there.
Yep.
There's something else. What's going on there?
On the second sip, it's starting to darken up for me. Like the flavors are starting to not be as bright and punchy, and it's starting to mellow out and get a little bit darker and easing into it. The proof isn't grabbing hold of my tongue anymore, and it's like it's starting to go like where it was jelly. It's starting to smooth into like jam, and I'm starting to go like a darker berry. Like it's starting to like lean like almost like blueberry.
I was gonna say blueberry. Yeah, absolutely. Almost to me, it's like a grapey nature. Like not like grape jelly or jam, but like you just literally popped one of those like really huge like globe grapes or something like that. I don't know what they're called.
Third sip now, like I'm finally getting like some bitter too, like some barrel notes. That is really opening up. Really well.
That's a ride right there, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Let me say it again. Now, like, okay.
Do it.
A ride.
There it is. Yeah.
Thank you. My first sip, I was like, interesting. And like, I was a bit let down.
Right.
And it's partially because I know how good Uncle Nearest products are.
Right.
But as I've sat with it, and as this, like literally in the, we've been sipping on it maybe 5 minutes, not even.
Right.
And in the couple of sips that we've had and we've pondered, we edited a little bit, cut down for time. But in the little bit of time that we've been sipping this, I mean, it has changed dramatically.
Yeah, I think this one specifically, the proof is so high, and I think the flavors are so kind of like pungent.
Yeah.
It takes you a minute to like acclimate and kind of break it down. And once you've kind of acclimated to it, everything starts to release. And I dare say, I'd be really interested to pop an ice cube in this. Let it kind of
I'm
break that down a little bit. I bet it opens up even more.
I'll try that.
For sure.
I would say like this, when I think about complex whiskeys, it's there.
Right. This
like,
is what you're talking about.
This is complex AF because initially I was like, once I even, acclimated to the proof, I was like, I don't know.
Right.
But then you get this like really nice sweet. It's kind of a let down, like a really easy let down sweet. It's not something that like just drops you off a cliff. There's this really cool rye spice and bitter at the end. I'm not getting a whole lot of barrel, not a whole lot of oaky nature, but this really like complementary jammy sweet into rye spice. But I'm also not getting the piney notes still,
right?
Which I'm not disappointed by because I got a lot of things to think about.
Right.
Are you grabbing a piece of ice?
Yep.
I say we try it.
Yeah.
All right. Now we got our ice.
Ice cube in. I'm gonna let it chill.
Just
there.
let that.
Sorry.
That's okay. It happens to the best of us.
That's how I hiccup.
Yeah. Tim Allen would be proud of you. How did my ice cube melt faster than yours?
I think you picked a small one.
Oh,
mine's getting there. I can like actually see my shrinking like in real time.
Got a question for you.
What's that?
As we're
Good question.
As we're waiting for our ice cubes to melt so we can kind of come back to the Uncle Nearest Rye.
Yep.
What do you want to talk about?
Something that I deal with on a regular basis, or at least I ponder on a regular basis, is the concept of criticism.
Oh.
And like, how do you accept criticism? How do you react to it? Because I think a lot of times I see people just react in such a horrible way to any kind of criticism.
Yeah.
It's kind of, I don't know, off-putting
in
a way, and it's like disappointing in a way that it just kind of gets me to thinking of like, like criticism doesn't have to always be a bad thing. And I think we automatically put a negative connotation on the word itself, but there certainly are instances where like it can be constructive criticism. It can be, but it can be a positive thing. And if you're willing to not let everything be a negative, I think there's always, probably some good that can come from it.
Yeah.
But it just kind of got me to thinking of like criticism as a whole, of like, how do you give it? How do you receive it? Where are times that you look for it?
Yeah.
Kind of things like that.
Is this going to be the Drip and Stone 6-hour special?
It could be.
Yeah.
Real easily.
Real
easily.
Well, okay. So first of all, there are entire industries built around criticism.
Sure.
I think that there's a difference between, they're interlinked, but there's a difference between criticism, critique, being critical of something.
Right.
And I think ultimately that's kind of what we do too. I mean, we become, or we critique, or we provide criticism in a way for things that we like, things that we don't like. I mean, that's what we do with whiskey.
Right.
That's what we do with popular culture. That's what we do with, philosophical ideas and pursuits and things like that. So like, I think inherently there is absolutely nothing wrong with criticism. What we've done maybe societally or culturally is we've made that thing a negative.
Sure.
Like we've ultimately changed that thing into, if I'm being critical of something or if I'm criticizing something, it automatically is a negative.
Right.
And I think that's to our detriment.
Sure.
But to be fair, again, there are entire groups of people, I'm looking at you political pundits,
Right.
that like literally make their living on just being
Bashing whatever.
yeah, and to the point of like not even trying to understand a thing,
Right.
and being critical in that way, but just being like offering criticism where there's no basis for it,
Right.
not in hopes of changing or in hopes of producing a creative response.
Or or to generate any kind of positive outcome from it. It's just to bash, and it's an unfortunate thing coming from my background of art. Mm-hmm. College was basically was, here's an assignment for the week, here's something that you're going to work on, and then at the end of the week we're going to critique it and we're going to break it down. We're going to say what's good, what's bad, which I think that's kind of an element too. If sometimes it doesn't follow in with criticism, is like, what were the good things about it? You only focus on the negatives.
Right.
But it just kind of got me into a constant state of listening to people talk about this thing that I had created.
Yeah. Very, very similar. I have like an exact, same experience in terms of my college experience, but it was just in relation to writing.
Right.
For me, it was, you're going to write this kind of poem or this kind of short story or whatever, and you're going to bring it to the group of peers. We're going to read it. We're going to talk about it, and we're going to ultimately critique it. What do we like about it? What do we not like about it? What is successful? What is not successful?
Right. And I think that like creates such a kind of, like, were there critiques that I sat through and like disagreed with everything that was being said? Like, yeah, absolutely. But you develop a very thick skin, and you start to understand to not, look at things so preciously.
Yeah.
Like this work, what these people are saying about this thing that I've created doesn't really have a whole lot to do, honestly, with me and how I feel about it.
Right.
To understand that, like, if there's something that you didn't like about it or that you think is strange about it, like, I don't know, you just kind of develop a better understanding and how to deal with people's thoughts and emotions about things.
When I think like listening to those experiences, and for me, and I don't know if this was your experience, but for me, we as the people whose works were being critiqued, we were not allowed to say anything until the critique was over.
Sure.
And then we could provide a artist statement, if you will, of like responding to various things just to give our perspective on it too.
Right.
And sometimes those turned into a like, you're all wrong and here's what I want. And I didn't do that myself, but I saw that in other people of like, you're all wrong. You missed the point of this.
Right.
And what that taught me was that, sure, as the creator, ultimately I've put the thing out there.
Right.
I can't necessarily control how people respond to that, but I need to be aware of how people respond to it.
Right.
Because if I do mean one thing and I'm trying to put that thing into the world and everybody's receiving it in a different way,
right.
Well, probably I'm the wrong one here.
Right. Or I haven't done a good job of relaying that message.
Right. So I think that kind of comes back to the reception of criticism.
Right.
And not automatically coming into a moment of criticism thinking that I'm the correct one and that all these other people are incorrect.
Sure.
Or they're all trying to tear down my thing,
right.
Whatever that is. But coming into a situation in which criticism is provided, whether it's warranted or wanted or not, understanding that this person is receiving that thing in a way that then causes them to respond in their way.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I have like a really awkward example of, I was in a critique. I had this painting that I had worked on for probably like 2 weeks at that point, and had put it up on the wall in the gallery, and we were critiquing work. And so it gets to mine and like starts off a lot of positive things. People are really digging it, and I'm feeling really good. But then towards the end of the critique, this other student who, let's say, was not one of the stars of the class, speaks up and says, it looks like the painting was a painting of it was like in college you do a lot of skeletal structures.
Sure.
Like it's just like something that you can set up and do still lifes.
Right.
And it was a painting of basically like a pelvis and legs, and it was hanging on a wall.
That's all I paint.
Yeah. Same.
Pelvis and legs.
And that's what it was. And so it was like, and I had set it up in the corner of my studio and lit it very dramatically with like a spotlight, and like that's what I painted. And this other student spoke up and said, "You know what? It doesn't look like it's in the corner. It looks like it's hanging on a butt. Like, that looks like a butt cheek and a butt crack."
That's what people say about my art too.
Well, so what was really disappointing is like when they said that,
Then
I saw it.
yeah.
And I was like,
shit.
"Man, you suck." And I was like, there was so much anger at first, because I was like, man, like, why do you even say that? Like, that's not the point, and that was not the intent.
Mm-hmm.
So why even bring that up and put it in everybody else's mind?
Yep.
But at the same
Correct.
At the same time, it took me a very long time to come to this realization, but eventually I did get to the realization of like, yeah, but if that person saw it that way, that's really all it would take for other people to start noticing it too.
See, I think it's the intent behind the criticism as well.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't know that person, I don't know that class or that experience, but if you go into an experience like that and the person is directly attempting to be malicious in their criticism,
sure,
what I perceive is this person wasn't attempting to be malicious. I mean, you said not a bright, not a star student,
right?
But you're right. Like, if that person noticed it, others might as well,
right?
So then, it kind of becomes that, all right, so are you criticizing with the intent to bring light to the thing so that the person understands it, or are you just criticizing to have something to say?
Right.
And that to me is where I start to like draw lines of, I am all for criticism and critiques to help a person grow.
Right.
And if that criticism and critique is not done with any version of malicious intent.
Right.
Unfortunately, I see more of the malicious intent, or I'm trying to one-up you. There's this one-upmanship.
Right.
Versus, hey, think about this, or have you seen this? Have you thought about this idea? Unfortunately, I see less of that, especially like because we're a part of a creator community. I'm sure you notice this too, just Instagram and Facebook and Twitter. Like, man, there are people that say all kinds of mean things, and not for the purpose of, hey, have you thought about this?
Right.
It's for like, no, I just want to tear you down.
Or I'm just trying to draw attention. Like, you've already got a lot of attention on you.
Right.
So if I come and, say something stupid, it'll grab attention towards me.
Right. That's where we've gone awry.
Good one.
Thank you.
Good one. Speaking of awry.
Oh, we're going back to
our
it?
cubes have melted.
Ooh.
I feel like it's time to see what has been
So
accomplished.
table the topic for a second. Come back to the rye?
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh, it's a little chilled.
Yeah.
Kind of like that. Just like
too.
slight chilled.
I've become, honestly, like I'm trying to plow through that benchmark foolproof as much as I can each night.
Good for you, bud.
So I pour like a hefty pour. I throw like 4 or 5 ice cubes on it, and it's not bad.
Pint glass?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'll put it. It's not up to here, and it's just
Yeah, it's not terrible.
it's fine.
So speaking of criticism real quick, before we jump into this, there are people who are like, you're putting ice in your whiskey?
Uh-huh.
How dare you? You guys are whiskey experts?
Fair enough. I ain't got a problem with it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's a criticism that
Oh yeah, no. I mean, I can take that all day. Go ahead, throw it at me. I don't care.
yeah, not me neither. Because I know what the results are.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, if you think that that's wrong, that's on you, man. Because I know that like there's some cool things that can happen from that.
Okay, that's where we're gonna head with this conversation.
Okay.
Like, how do we respond to these things?
Yeah, for sure.
But first, like you, sorry.
I was gonna say, but then you were already going in, so I started going. The nose is already like rounded. It's already kind of like the spikiness of like that tart that I was getting of like the bright berries.
Yeah,
that's all kind of like got like a halo of like a blanket over it.
Yeah, it's
like,
even. It's like What's a good art blending technique where you blended the edges?
You feathered it.
There it is. I was thinking, what would Bob Ross?
You
Bob
feathered
Ross?
Sure. I mean, he never feathered anything because he was always like palette knife.
Well, I guess I'm thinking of the weird fan brushes.
Oh, sure. Well, I mean, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, feathered edges.
Yeah, feathered edges.
Got it.
Yeah, it's all still there, the jammy nature and everything. It's just not as punchy anymore.
Agreed.
You want to taste it?
Sure.
Okay.
Ooh, that does open it up a little bit. I get like a peanut butter nature.
Whoa, I don't get that. But I get a lot more barrel. I get a lot more like the oaky bitter on the barrel.
Okay, that's actually what it is.
On the back end.
It's totally oaky barrel. It's not peanut butter.
Same thing.
Well, no, like the like that honey roasted quality. Like I'm getting that roasted note. And I for some reason just presented it as like peanut butter, but you said barrel. Like, yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, I like that. It is that kind of roasted aspect to it.
Wow, that now have you ever
I think the spice too.
Yeah.
Has got an upkick. I
would say the pine note has come out just a little bit.
Right.
You ever thrown like a peach on a grill? You ever grilled a peach?
Yeah.
It's reminds me of that. It's like a slightly, not like charred as in like a peaty or a campfire char, but it's in the sugars have developed in a different way.
Right. Charred stone fruit.
Yep. Like a good prune.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing like a good grilled prune.
Grilled wrinkly prune.
Dare I say that is better with a small little ice cube in it?
Might be. Which, again, I got no problem with that.
Absolutely not.
I mean, and I know like temperature dropping
Sure.
is supposed to mute flavor.
Absolutely.
But
That's why you want to serve Bud Light at a crisp 32.
right. But we're not going that cold here.
No,
It's just chilled.
and it's a single ice cube, and,
Yeah.
and it's not like
These are tiny ice cubes.
Yeah, they're
These are
really
not-
small ice cubes.
These are not like big chunky ass cubes.
Ass cubes. No, and it cuts the proof just enough,
Right.
where the proof is not affecting me in the same way.
Yeah.
I don't get just like a wash of proof.
But that charred note now, it was being overwhelmed by proof before and the spice, but now it's able to pop through at full strength, and it's delightful.
It really, truly is. Yeah, I'd say a small little ice cube, maybe a couple drops of water.
Yeah.
And that opens up in a beautiful way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ton of fun there. All right. Where were you wanting to go?
How do you how do you, but how do we, or how should we respond to criticism?
Ooh, I'm not big on this is how you should do it, because I don't like to pretend that I know.
Okay.
But where I've gotten to where I'm, I feel like I handle it better.
Sure.
First of all, receiving criticism from the people that I respect is one thing,
Get out of my head.
and the people that I want to receive that criticism for, like that's a small number of people, honestly. It's not many people that I'm willing and I'm wanting that feedback.
Right.
So that in and of itself is its own special little category where if you've got something to say that I can take and build off of it, tell me all day, every day.
Yep.
Like I'm cool with that. But a criticism from somebody that it's either unwarranted, unwanted, those kind of situations, I'm very quick to have that just roll off.
Yep.
Like I can bounce back from that real quick.
Yep.
And I give a lot of credit to that from the critiques that I took part in. You just kind of get used to it. You kind of get used to like that person's always going to say something.
Yep.
And you get to feel that. And initially it is hard and it's difficult to deal with it, but eventually you just kind of get to the point where it's like, you just expect it.
Yeah.
And I think expecting it is kind of part of it. But at my current job, I don't let a bad criticism of the thing that I'm currently doing, which doesn't happen often, but if it does, man, I let that thing roll right off my back real quick, and I move on to the next thing.
Yeah. I'm with you. Like, I don't know if how I respond is always a good way or the best way, but for me, it's very similar in that I have a few people that I value their opinion enough, and I trust that they have my best interest in mind to give me criticism when it's needed. Sometimes when it's not wanted, but when it's needed, and not to tear down, but to strengthen and make better, or at least make aware.
Right.
Like
or
you
just,
said.
hey, think about this.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And that's such a small group of people and a small group of trusted people that I may not always respond in a good way, but I trust that person enough
Sure.
that like what you said is said out of love,
Right.
and is said out of I'm not trying to tear you down. I'm trying to give you this for you to think about, give you this to, for a variety of reasons.
Right. Don't think of me as a conjurer.
Right.
With cheap tricks. Frodo.
I got it. Yeah. And it's like, I mean, that's both creatively, that's personally, and that's, a part of advice seeking as well.
Right.
Where, I mean, I'll ask people that I trust, hey, what do you think about this? Or let me bounce this idea off of you, expecting them not to hold back in terms of like, I don't want people to be guarded with like trying to kid gloves, approach me in that way.
Right.
But like, no, tell me the thing. But also, like you said, there are people where I just kind of go into like fuck off mode.
Sure.
Where it's like,
real quick.
Yeah. Like I didn't ask for your opinion. You're going to give it. I can't stop you from doing that. My response is either that,
right,
or it's like, cool.
Yeah.
Like,
awesome.
It's not going to change. Yeah. It's not going to change my perspective on this thing.
Right.
I've recognized that people are so willing to give their opinions on everything.
Right.
And it's almost like people have less of a filter now than, I don't want to say, than they used to, in like nostalgia's sake, but maybe I'm just more aware of it, that people are way more willing to give their opinion when it wasn't warranted.
Sure. And I think that's like the big thing for me, like on the side of the critic, of the person giving the criticism. Like, I'm also very rarely will I even offer my opinion on a thing. Like, I think about it all the time at work of, I've been at this location that I'm working at now for over 20 years. Mm-hmm. And I know that place inside and out. I've worked just about every position in the restaurant. Right. So, like, I have opinions on all of it. But I will not give it to a new manager that comes in. Right. Unless they ask me for it.
Yep.
Because that's not... I don't feel like that's my position is to tell you how to understand this thing. Right. Like, you've got your own experiences and stuff that you're going to apply. And if you want to know what I think, I'm happy to tell you. But until that, like, I'm going to keep it to myself.
Yeah. Well, and in that same vein, like, if you ask me my opinion and I'm not sure of your intentions with that opinion, I'm also really guarded with that. Right. Like, rarely am I going to offer that opinion when no one asked, and rarely am I going to offer that opinion in a situation where I guess I'm not like super comfortable around those people. Right. You know what I mean? So like for me, it also becomes like, I have opinions and I have that perspective, but I know that how I react to people who do that. Right. And I know it's generally not positive, but I also think about like what we do in terms of Drep and Stone. Like, people ask us, I mean, all the time about, what do you think about this whiskey? What do you think about this whiskey? What do you think about this drink? Or what's the best whiskey for $50 or whatever? Right. And my normal kind of response is, here are a couple things I like right now, or here's how I feel about this thing right now. Because, and I think Drep and Stone has taught me personally that your tastes vary widely. Yeah. And change constantly. And they change constantly. Sure. Like I kind of know what I like. we can pick out a lot of different things, but also I am critical of some stuff, but it's because of that experience that I've had that I can like, okay, I can weigh these things against it, but I'm also not going to be like, that is the worst trash I've ever had. Right. Or like, wow, that is definitively the best thing I've ever had. Right. Because I recognize that changes constantly. So if someone says, hey, give me the whiskey for $30, I'm going to say, I like this and I like this and I like this, but I've also heard good things about, or, something like that. Right. Because that is offering some criticism of here's what I'm into. A
bit of an opinion.
Right. But it's also like, you need to figure these things out for yourself too.
Yeah. But like, and then the other part of it, and I guess probably the aspect of it that really kind of made me start to think about criticism and how we deal with it is, unfortunately, like seeing people who a criticism is given, and it just wrecks their day. And it just drags on them for so long. And I find it so just disappointing that they're not able to just shed that, man. Like, just take it and move on with it. don't let it affect the next thing that you do.
Well, and I mean, you and I as creators, I think that's such an interesting position to be in, because we are creators, also comment on creations too.
Right.
So like, we watch something or we listen to something or we experience something and we have an opinion on it. And, whether that opinion is good or bad, I don't think that, at least what we strive to do is we don't like just shit all over something just for the purpose of like just creating chaos
Content.
Yeah. And creating content.
Yeah.
And I think that like that is unfortunately so much of like where criticism has gone.
Right.
And what that ultimately does is it strips criticism of its power to influence and bolster creativity.
Right.
Because, like you listen to a brand new album of a band you like and you're like, it's not as good as it was before.
Right.
And, somebody asks you, what do you think about it? Well, I actually like this one better and here's why. And the purpose is not to tear that band down.
Right.
But it's to like, here's how I feel about it.
Yeah.
I think that also accounts for the responsibility of the person providing the criticism. And that's something that too often people don't consider.
Yeah.
What am I responsible for?
I feel like we live in an age, because of the veil of the internet, everybody feels emboldened to give their criticism on any given topic at any given point in time. And that's an unfortunate thing. I think there should be more thought given to, is this necessary? Is it relevant? Is it helpful? Or is it just bashing to bash?
Yep.
And I think that, unfortunately has leaked into our everyday lives also, not just in the comment section.
Yeah. I mean,
of things.
A good example, you and I personally, and then you and I as Drep and Stone, are part of a lot of whiskey groups on Facebook. Mm-hmm. I know that we've both seen people post things that they're like stoked about.
Yeah.
Like, I found this bottle and I can't believe I found this bottle. Like, what do you guys think?
Right.
And that question is so loaded when it comes to anything opinionated.
Right.
And most people just tear that individual down.
Right.
And like, I know that you and I, we've seen like, people posting bottles of like Eagle Rare.
Right.
Which I know is incredibly difficult to find in places.
Right.
And there are people that post stuff like, I can't believe I found a bottle of Eagle Rare. And personally, I'm like, it's Eagle Rare.
Cool.
But I'm also like, good for you that you found the thing that you were looking for.
You're excited about it.
And you're excited about it. And then I read the comments, which, by the way, like, we try not to read comments in terms of that. Like,
right.
But like, you scroll through the comments and you see everything from like, good on you, man. Like, you found the thing to like, why would you drink this sad trash? You might as well just drink sewer water. Like, it's like, what? Nobody like,
Whoa,
I mean,
man.
I guess the person did ask for it. Like, what are your opinions? But like,
yeah,
dude.
For sure. That's a really good point. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's can be a very opinionated place out there in whiskey land.
And that's what's so funny about being like people who make a podcast is that we're putting our opinions out there and like we've gotten some doozies, man.
Well, and it's also the kind of thing of like, for every person that you can find that loves that thing, there's probably somebody that hates that thing.
If there's a yum to yuck, someone is there to yuck that yum.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, you got anything else?
Yeah, no, like to critique the old Uncle Nearest there.
Yep.
I think it's really interesting. It's really unique, and I can't think of very many whiskeys that I've had that are similar to it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, for that alone, I find it really valuable.
I really like what Uncle Nearest as a company is doing. I like their whole setup. Like I said, initially, I was a bit like, with this bottle. Mm-hmm. But as I sat with it and we dropped that ice cube in it, like, this is great. Yeah. If you can find one, go pick it up for sure.
Yep.
At the very least, it's complex AF, and you're gonna have an interesting pour.
Yeah, interesting time separating things out there.
Yeah. Well, we'd love to know what you think about Uncle Nearest Rye.
Look at the charred bits at the bottom of that bottle.
Whoa,
that's some tasty char down in there.
That is weird. Some chonky bits in this. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I've never seen anything like that.
Is it part of like? Shake it up a bit. No, it's legit part of it. Wow.
It's like settling.
That's weird. I thought it might just be something in the bottle, but no.
That's some chonky bits.
Chonky bits.
Some char.
That was also my nickname in college.
I think I gave you that nickname.
Actually, you're right. You did. It wasn't in college.
What up, chonky bits?
You're looking mighty handsome in those tight pants.
Whoa.
So we want to know what you think about the Uncle Nearest Rye.
Yeah, have you had a chance to go over to the distillery and pick up a bottle of this? Because that's the only place you can get it.
I thought you said I could get it at 100 proof somewhere.
Oh, yeah, you can.
Oh,
not
the
version of it.
118, but yeah. Okay. All right. We also want to know what you think about criticism.
Yeah, how well do you take it? And you know.
Yeah.
You know if it's like something that just absolutely wrecks you, or if it's something that you can take, maybe pull something out of it if it's valuable, and disregard it if it's not.
Listen, this is a safe space, and you can just email us, drippingstone@gmail.com, and tell us what you think about it. We're not going to call you out. We're not going to criticize you. Especially like if you want to join Patreon and become a part of that community, ain't no negative criticism going on there. That's a place where people come, hang out, and if there is criticism, it's all out of love.
Indeed. Positive vibes only.
Yeah. So like we said, you can get in touch with us through email. It's drippingstone@gmail.com. You also get in touch with us through social media.
It's always one word. Drippingstone, DREP, and Stone. Find us, like us, share a thing, comment on a thing, and we'll get right back to your things.
Likes and hearts and stars and
Thumbs up.
way up. Shares.
Ooh, good sharing.
Yeah. Ooh,
Sharing is caring.
Sharing is indeed caring. And if you'd like to support the podcast, you can do so. I mean, we kind of already dropped this, but you can do so through Patreon. That's patreon.com/drippingstone. A lot of really fun, cool content that you get on Patreon, both first and only there.
Indeed.
You can also support Dripping Stone by rating us wherever you find great podcasts like this one. And finally, Kyle, you can support Dripping Stone by like just telling someone about it.
Yep.
Yeah, like you're probably in traffic right now because like that's where most people listen to podcasts.
Indeed.
In your car.
Yep.
And just roll down your window,
Yep.
yell at the person next to you. Hey, excuse me,
Sir?
roll down your window.
Oh. Sir?
Have you heard about Dripping Stone?
Yeah, I'm actually listening to it right now.
Which episode?
4.
Wow, you're going all the way back to 4?
I'm just starting it.
Dude, you've got a ride ahead of you.
Oh, yeah?
Absolutely. Speaking of ride, you need to go. Your lane's moving.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right.
All right,
See you later.
See you, buddy.
Hey, real quick.
Yeah?
May your glass ever flow.
And your ass never show.
See, it's done like that. It's pretty easy.
That is easy.
Yeah, and it's fun.
We just did it.
We did.
that's how you do it.
That's how that's done.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Get out of your car like really excited and like you're about to yell at them. They're gonna be like so taken back when you just be like, "Hey, have you listened to this podcast?"
If they reach over to the glove box, that's when you get back in your car real quick.
Real quick.
Yeah, just
real quick. Don't play around.
No. Don't even think about it. Just get back in the car and hope for the best. On that note, hey buddy, may your glass overflow
and your ass never show. Cheers, buddy.
Cheers.
Let's do it.
Though this is what you said.
I need your voice echoing through my head.
So much better.
There we go. Where'd you pull that from? I thought
Excuse
you were
me.
building up to a good point. I was like, nope, got a burp.
Well, I was building up to a good point, and then it left me.
The burp.
Yeah.
The burp did.
Yeah, exactly. You want to do a Patreon thing real quick, too?
Hey, girl.
Hey. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I said counterclockwise. Nah. It's like a melon note. Receipt.
Oh, no. Maybe unplug it.
Yeah.
Did you accidentally flick it off?
I don't. Maybe. Maybe. And it was just like teetering.
Yeah, you must have like just hit it and it just was enough to like trigger it.
I got scared for a second. Like, oh, God, what are we going to do now? I don't have another mic cable. We've got a bunch at home.
Bourbon?
Burping.
Oh, bourbon.
Burping, yeah. I was burping.
Bourbon.
Burping bourbon. Burping rye. Rye burping.
Rye burping.
That's not supposed to happen.
I just got a little bit of mint on that one.
Ooh.
Peppermint.
Peppermint? Peppermint?
Peppermint.
Salt and peppermint.
Woo.
And then like a professional development with old chunky bits.
Well, old chonky bit. Let's go. All right, take some notes.